What?
The New Edition Story, Part 3, Review.
Every little step I take, you will be there. Every little step I take, we'll be together. Yeah. Ooh. No, I'm just kidding. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Chris O. It's finally over. So sad, but I applaud it. They did their thing on BET with the New Edition Story Part 3, the final conclusion. It starts out with the boys doing the rehearsal, well, really the video for If It Isn't Love. Next, it jumps to Bobby doing his video for Every Little Step. Every Little Step. But before there, they show how Bobby got his little asymmetrical Gumby on the video, and how that happened was his barber, aka DC Young Fly, shouts out to DC Young Fly, pretty much was looking at these females coming down the stairs. He's like, oh my goodness, and he actually clicked. I'm like, shh. He said, oh man, you made me look like Gumby. And I was dying laughing. It was so funny as you know what. The next thing was when they transitioned through each one and how they was living their lives, especially when it came to as far as making music wise. Because when they was on tour, they was on the Heartbreak tour still, and Heartbreak was doing really well. He had songs like If It Isn't Love, Sorry, and so much more. Now here it is, the celebration of the New Edition album Heartbreak with Johnny Gill, and also the celebration for Bobby Brown's album Don't Be Cruel. They both went platinum. Now here's what was messed up. Brooke was giving a toast to both of the people, both groups, Bobby Brown and his album and New Edition and their album. And Bobby Brown comes up with his little ego talking about, man, I made New Edition, and this cake is for me, and the other cake is for me. So he sits there and dig his nasty hands in that doggone beautiful cake, and it just made me, I'm like, really, dude, really? In the cake? Then he puts it on the plate and just eat it, and then just feeds his little girl and just kiss her with it. And like, ain't nobody want that nasty cake after you done put your fingers in it. So it was crazy. Afterwards, during the celebration, during the party, well, the two producers that produced the Heartbreak album, they sat there and told Bev, Bill, and DeVoe, like, why don't you three make your own group or whatever. And lo and behold, that's what Poison happened. But before that, I forgot to mention what was another funny thing. We didn't know that they were that broke. So what was messed up was, how you gonna sit there and have each member of the group have their own tour bus? And I'm like, really? You need that much of an entourage? You don't got that kind of money. So it was crazy. Another thing after that, at the end of the tour, when Mike was getting on the bus, these group of guys confronted him. And the group of guys turned out to be none other than Boyz II Men. And they sung the rendition of, what was it? They sung the rendition of a New Edition song, Can't Stand the Rain, and it was so phenomenal. And you know, Boyz II Men is like straight up harmonized. That's the group right there. So it was so amazing to see how everything was transitioning along the way. Now here it is. Here it is on Video Music Soul. All the guys met up. It was Bobby, Ricky, Mike, Ralph, all of New Edition, plus Johnny Gill, and they were sharing their solo projects. In Video Music Soul, they were showing all the videos from Johnny Gill, Bobby Brown, Ralph Transvant, and Bell Biv DeVoe. And I couldn't argue. It kind of looked like the videos, but I couldn't argue with it because they was doing their thing still. So at the end of the Video Music Soul interview, I believe Ralph sat there and said, hey, we're gonna come out with a New Edition album soon. Soon was kind of took forever because it happened 6 years later, and that album became the Home Again album. And then this is where it gets a little iffy at. They were doing the photo shoot for Home Again, and Ralph shows up to the photo shoot, but it was said that Ralph's mom died like a few days before, and the group was talking about, oh man, he must have a lot of heart just to show up to the photo shoot because his mama had just died. That was so sad, but the man had heart. During the Home Again tour, Bobby always showed up late, or he probably didn't show at all. So whenever they was doing the show, Bobby would show up late, and then everybody be screaming out for Bobby. He said, nah, I come when I feel like it. You know that big ego, think he better than everybody and everything like that. One thing I didn't know about the group, I did not know Ricky did coke. He was sitting over there snorting coke and then trying to get with his girl at the house, and that's one thing I didn't really know about the group, that Ricky actually did coke. Now this is where the story begin and the actual transitional part. Bobby was taking too much time on the stage. He's been on stage for like the longest. This was during the Home Again tour, and Ronnie got fed up with his stuff. So he's pretty much saying, man, forget this, man. I'm about to go out on stage and we're about to do this thing for BBD. So afterwards, Bobby didn't like that. So them fools, Bobby didn't like that. So he wanted to spray the water hose on BBD on the stage or whatever to get him off the stage. But then Bobby just came through and just started fighting, and they all just started fighting. The whole gang just started like clashing. The whole New Edition, boom, 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 just sparks everywhere, psh, psh, lots of fighting. And then this dude shoots a gun, and gratefully it missed everybody. But Brooke was sitting there watching this, and Brooke just walked off the set, and he's in the hallway, and pretty much he was sitting there having a heart attack, and he just drops down, and Ronnie goes to his rescue, and they called 911, and then boom, they take Brooke to the hospital. But then the whole New Edition gang went backstage. They was pretty much fighting again, and boom, they break up. Just broke up. They say, forget it, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of dealing with y'all, peace out, F y'all, don't care, I'm out. After they broke up, they showed each member of the group and what they were going through. Like Ricky, he pretty much almost overdosed. Ronnie had to take real estate lessons, or real estate class lessons, you know, trying to get his money up. Also, I forgot, Ricky almost was like breaking down and telling his girl like, hey, we're broke, there's no more money. Johnny Gill was doing good. You know, he was doing the thing with LSG with Gerald Levert and Keith Sweat. And Ralph was going through a very hard divorce. And to top it all off, Ricky went to an AA meeting, well, pretty much a rehab meeting, to get himself together, to get himself clean, because he was still on the coke and on the drugs and everything, because he pretty much overdosed at that moment. So it was crazy. Their lives was going through a down spiral. But I forgot, Ronnie was planning his wedding. He was getting ready to get married. Now this is where the happy ending comes into play, and I love it for this. Now it's time for the wedding, Ronnie's wedding. And Ronnie is like in the back somewhere, you know, getting himself ready, getting himself prepped up for the wedding and everything. And lo and behold, who knocks on the door? It's Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown comes, and he's sitting there having a heart-to-heart with Ronnie and said, everything that I did, I'm sorry, I messed up, I had a big ego. And you can tell that Bobby was going into a positive direction with his life, especially when it came to all the bad stuff that he's done, especially with the group. And he blamed himself. And then, you know, he was telling Ronnie that, hey, you kept it all together. You was the level-headed one. You was always the one that brought me back to reality. So that was a great moment as far as them having that heart-to-heart to pick up where they left off when they broke up the group at the Home Again tour. Now, while they was back there, look who comes to the door. The whole New Edition gang comes to the door to see Ronnie at his wedding. So beautiful, off the chain. And they just had a great time. They were just having a great time. Blase had Ronnie had his wedding. He got married. And they was at the reception. They was having a good time at the reception. And Ronnie's uncle Brooke, he did a phenomenal toast. He did a toast to the bride and groom, of course, and he also gave a toast to New Edition, and that was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. And you know how the wife, you know, sits in the center of the reception party or whatever, and New Edition pretty much performed in front of the wife, performed for the wife. And it was just a great time to see the guys come back together again. And Stephen Hill, the dude who works at BET, said, hey, was talking to Brooke, and he was telling Brooke, said, hey, we got to get these guys together. So what ended up happening, they did a BET event like live, and they did all the songs. And then while you seeing all them doing all the songs live for the people, you see how they was having flashbacks, pretty much strolling down memory lane, going from as a kid to see and seeing the transitions as they come up now. And it was so beautiful how everything played out. And that's pretty much how the whole story ended. They strolled down memory lane. They did a phenomenal job performing for the BET event or the BET Awards or whatever. But they did a phenomenal job. And the one thing I really hated was the fact that it ended 6 minutes early. But regardless of the fact, I applaud BET. I applaud BET because they did a phenomenal, fantastic, immaculate, extravaganzic, superb, super duper duper, supercalifragilistic job on the New Edition story. And I hope there's so many biopics to come from BET. Yes, yes, yes. I'm behind it 100%. 5 stars. 5 stars. No. 10 stars. I'm just saying. Boom. And you know, at the end credits, you know, they showed the original group, you know, how everything transpired in the pictures and stuff like that. So yeah. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, tell me what you think about it. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Leave your comments below. If you want to see my New Edition review, part 1, there it is right there. If you want to see my New Edition review, part 2, there it is right there. Don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy Chris O. Deuces.